This video is probably going to get me into some trouble. But I can't avoid talking about this anymore. More than anything, I think it was my own denial that kept me from figuring it out well enough to be able to speak about it. I'm almost 50 years old, and I thought that by now, when my life is probably more than half over, I would not have much more to learn about human nature, but I was wrong. Even to this day, I am continually shocked about how much more cruel and ignorant human beings are. Now, when I was a little boy, I thought the adults were so knowledgeable, and they had everything under control. Powerful people in elected offices, the president, Congress, governors, mayors, etc., were supposed to be the best of us. That's what I thought, anyway. But as an adult, with more understanding about the world, it has become very disconcerting to listen to these people talk and realize just how dumb and dishonest they are. And they're the ones in control. But who put them there? My own neighbors. My fellow Americans. We are a species of terrifying diversity. And I don't mean diversity in the modern sense of race and gender. I mean it in the sense that there are some human beings who are capable of discovering the Higgs boson, while others can't even figure out that the fucking Earth is round or that dinosaurs existed. And that wouldn't be such a problem if the ignorant at least understood that they're ignorant. But they don't. They're arrogant and confident, and it seems like the ignorant are becoming more influential because they have no respect for the knowledgeable. My most recent disillusionment has been a tough pill to swallow, and it is this. I've wasted so much time arguing about genocide in the Bible. Did you know that the Bible claims that God commanded Israelites to kill children and babies? I'd ask. And there's no arguing about whether it is claimed in the Bible that the God character made such commands. They're pretty explicit. Nobody can deny it. Every apologist admits it. And they have various excuses, right? God must have had a good reason, they say. Perhaps God knew that they would be evil. Perhaps they'd seek revenge if they were allowed to grow up. It was best for them because they got to go to heaven. God created life so God can take life. They needed to be totally wiped out because they were evil people who did child sacrifice, so they all needed to die, even their children. You've all heard the excuses. But you know what I've realized as I've reached nearly a half century in age? I've realized the hard truth. And the truth is, they don't care. The excuses they give for the God of the Bible aren't really excuses for God. They're excuses for themselves so that they can pretend to be moral. The truth is, they don't care about the slaughter of children, and they don't care about whether God commanded it or not. How could I say such a thing? Well, because it's happening right now as I speak these words, and they still don't care. And this time, they don't even have the excuse that God commanded it, because it's not in a so-called holy book to tell them what to think. Once again, the Israelites are slaughtering children and entire neighborhoods, and what are the good Christians of America doing about it? They're sending them weapons and money, that's what. And this is one of the very few bipartisan issues that exist. So it's not like you can just vote the problem away. It's a lie that they try to avoid civilian casualties. The truth is the perfect opposite. They seek civilian casualties. No damage is considered collateral. They shoot people on sight. They tell you where to go to find safety and then attack the so-called safe places and cut off any aid to those places. They give you their so-called warnings in English, not for the non-English speakers they target, but for us, so that we believe that they're the good guys. They deny them food, water, and medicine with blockades and even outright attacks against aid workers. The children who aren't buried under rubble are slowly being starved to death, and they don't care. There are conservative Christians in the United States who will cry out about an aborted 6-week-old fetus that doesn't even yet have the equipment for consciousness. Yet when faced with starving toddlers or children blown to pieces, they'll say that Israel has the right to defend itself. They claim to be pro-life and pro-family, except for when entire families are buried under rubble, families who are found guilty simply because of where they lived, as if they had any other choice. And no, this isn't a Jewish thing. There are plenty of Jews, both within the borders of Israel and beyond, who do not support this genocide. So any Nazis who thought they were about to find a fellow anti-Semite in me can fuck right off too. And I know there are Christians who don't support it as well. But I'm specifically talking about the ones who make excuses and then argue with me about morality. And they would scoff at me, an atheist, for defending these slaughtered people. Why don't you go over there, they say. Don't you know that they would put you to death for being an atheist, they say. They laugh at people holding a Queers for Palestine sign. They make jokes about it. Ha ha. That's like saying sheep for the wolves. Ha ha. That's like saying gays for rooftops. Ha ha. They're so dumb and delusional, right? You know what that is? It's mass guilt by association. If you're in that part of the world, then you hold this opinion, period. Is that true? Or is that just what you're told, and so you believe, like a simpleton? You think there are no Christians, Jews, or moderate Muslims in Palestine? You think there are no gay people in Palestine? You think there are no atheists in Palestine? You think there are no people in Palestine who want religious liberation from extremists? Of course there are, and they're oppressed. Stop blindly believing the people in control of the narrative. The answer to their oppression is not to kill their children and wipe out their neighborhoods. Even if every single person in Gaza believed that all atheists should be executed and all gay people tossed from rooftops, do you think that means we should want to see their babies starved to death or blown to pieces? Indiscriminate death sentences all around? How would that make us any better? How would that not create a precedent for them to follow against our children? As an American, are you guilty for everything America has done? As an American, are you in favor of everything America has done? Because that's the mentality being expressed here. Some extremists in Palestine would kill gay people. Therefore, you shouldn't care if their children are butchered and entire neighborhoods are leveled. Is that the cure for extremism? If someone slaughtered your kids and destroyed your home, is that going to make you less extreme or more? Is that going to make you surrender or fight back like you have nothing left to lose? If you get a call from your child's school tomorrow saying that they're very sorry, but someone from Yemen just slit your child's throat because we dropped bombs on their cities, are you just going to shrug your shoulders and say, well, it's only fair? Yemen had a right to defend itself, which for some reason entails the slaughter of your child. I mean, that's what you're doing now. But it's okay because it's other people's kids, not yours. So it's only fair, right? And that's the real crux of the issue. We are so far removed from genocide that it's abstract to anyone without proper experience or imagination. We get so lost in our first world country and our first world problems that starving children aren't even real to us. Starving children are an infomercial at midnight. Starving children are a picture of Africa or India in a textbook printed in the 1970s. But if you saw a skeletal baby lying on a sidewalk still breathing, you would do something about it, wouldn't you? You would stop and help, right? If you saw a collapsed house and heard people crying out for help from within, you would do something about it, wouldn't you? You'd either help or you'd immediately call for help, even if you're a Christian who defends biblical genocide, right? You'd help if you saw it with your own eyes and heard it with your own ears, in proximity to the actual event itself, right? You'd help, wouldn't you? The reason you don't care about the genocide happening right now is because it's just not real enough to you. And that's the exact same reason you don't care about the genocides in the Bible. They're just not real enough to you. They happened too long ago and too far away.